And evolve is all right. Evolve is something that allows us to show you, um, allows people to learn at their own pace. So if you like to have on-demand training where you want to watch a bunch of videos and you want to see all the different concepts, that's part of the package. So I wanted to take you out and show you that. I'm going to share my screen here. I don't know if this is going to work here. Um, how about okay. What we'll do first is I'll share with it.
Unmute.
Apparently you can't see my screen.
We could see the screen. We couldn't hear you.
Oh, you couldn't hear me. So now you can hear me.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, great. Okay, so whenever we have somebody that wants to go into Dale Carnegie, one of the first things we do is we do an interview and ask them to create breakthrough plans of what they really want to accomplish. And that helps us customize the program for their needs. So for example, there are 5 different skill sets and mindsets that we focus on in the program. And so what we do is we define a breakthrough as something that you want to accomplish, but you're not exactly sure how you're going to do it. Because if you knew how to do it, you'd probably already be doing it. Everybody has self-confidence at certain levels, but there are some things that usually are new, that are challenging us, that are either through fears or habits that we would like to change. Many people tell us that, you know, speaking in public might be an area, or when they're in certain meetings and there are leaders or managers that may be a little bit difficult or intimidating, that they would like to be able to be more assertive and be comfortable in those types of situations. And so we identify what is the breakthrough. The breakthrough is obviously there's some kind of a barrier between what they want to accomplish and their end result. And we have to identify what that barrier is and coach them around it. So we have people write breakthroughs in each one of these areas, whether it's building more trust, getting the ability to trust other people, whether it's being able to be more compelling or clearer, or selling your ideas to others in the way that you communicate, or listening to understand as opposed to listening to respond. Most people listen long enough to figure out where the other person's going, and then they stop listening and they start thinking ahead about what they're going to say. That's listening to respond. We show people how to listen not just to the words that people are saying, but also to how they're saying it, and oftentimes observing what they're not saying. Sometimes that is as important. So listening to understand, you know, really helps us take our listening skills to a higher level. When it comes to leadership, I define a leader as somebody that other people are willing to follow. And we follow other people because they have a plan. They are able to create a big picture for other people. And other people understand that big picture in such a way that they agree with it. So they are aligned with the big picture. I think leaders are really good at following through on what they say they're going to do. They don't procrastinate. They're good at managing time because they manage according to priorities as opposed to list of things to do. And they're coaches. They are able to recognize opportunities to coach other people in such a way that they really understand and say, I'm glad that you were here to help me. And then the final one is reducing stress and improving our attitude here. Um, and a lot of that is about understanding when we are in a stress event and how do we manage it so that we don't spend the whole day thinking about it and dwelling on it. The key is recognizing it and asking ourselves logical questions. Simon, we're going to have to unshare my screen here, and can you take my screen off?
Yep, it's
so
off
that I
now.
Okay, I still see the breakthrough plan.
Well, it's not shared here.
Okay, so you're seeing me.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, good. All right. So, all right. I'm back here. Am I muted or unmuted?
We hear you just fine.
Okay, great. Okay. So, I did want to show you, we have a platform. It's a learning management software that allows us to not only create our breakthrough plan and our vision, it also gives us all the aspects of on-demand learning. So we've got 60 videos, we've got 22 different concepts. There are 12 different trainers that are involved in creating these videos, so that if you wanted to just learn about the things that I just shared with you, and you are the type of person that needs the repetition, we've got it. We also go one step beyond. When we meet face to face, is we coach people. One of the other ways that people learn is not just by doing, but they need to see it demonstrated live and then coached. And so every concept, one of the 22 concepts that we teach in our program, we introduce it, we have people practice it right away, sometimes with partners, sometimes in the front of the room with the trainer. And that's how we grow when we learn. Um, we have people set goals and make projects outside of the program where they are able to practice these human relations principles from Mr. Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. And so they might set a goal to uh, win somebody to their way of thinking, or build a stronger relationship with somebody that, for whatever reason, they just have a tough time connecting with. So we ask them to take your most difficult and challenging relationship and try and improve that relationship in the next week using any of these human relations principles. Um, Last Wednesday, I started a I started a program in Wilmer. We had 28 people, and we have it's kind of a special one because I have a father and son going through this program. The father is like 68 years old. He says, I'm 2 years away from retirement, and he says, this has always been on my bucket list, Rick. I've heard about the Dale Carnegie program since the 70s, and I've always wanted to take it. I said, well, what do you really want out of this program? Well, he owns a business, and he says, I've got some difficult people that sometimes I get frustrated with them, and I can't get them to do what I want them to do. And then I end up yelling at them. And he says, that doesn't work. So he says, I'd like to learn how to deal more effectively with difficult people in challenging situations. Now, his son is 40 years old and he's got 5 kids, and he owns another business. He's in the excavating business. He's also in this program, and he says, I really need to learn how to talk to people. I said, well, you've got 5 children, and 18 employees. Uh, why are you looking for that now? He says, I've always struggled with it. He says, I can talk to them fine, but I really need to talk to them, if you know what I mean. I need to have authentic conversations. Sometimes they don't know what I'm thinking, or they don't know how much I appreciate them. I said, why don't you tell them? And he act like that's the first time he's ever heard that. He said, I don't know how to tell them. So that's why I'm here. So we have people that are coming to us with a lot of different ideas and things that they want to accomplish. And my job is to understand first what they're doing by getting them to write their goals down and their vision, and then move forward into coaching them to get them from where they are in life to where they want to be. And so about 75% of the program is where you are participating and sharing your ideas. And as we open up a subject, you learn as much from other people in the program, and then you get coached. And that's different from doing an on-demand program where it's all lecture and you're just passively watching it on a TV screen. If you have the learning style that you prefer to have a personal coach, or if you have the learning style where you like the repetition of it, we've got it all at Dale Carnegie, and it's all comes in one program. So I've been with Dale Carnegie for this is going to be my 26th year. When I started, we had this book here. This was the cover of the How to Win Friends and Influence People version. I took the course originally in 1984, primarily because I wanted to reduce stress and worry. I was a worrywart, and one of the things I learned was a process to manage and reduce stress in such a way that I don't necessarily worry about things that I don't control. And the things that I do control, I automatically think through a logical process to manage them. And it's probably been the greatest gift that I've ever gotten. Over the years, Dale Carnegie has changed a lot. In 2012, in advance of our 100th anniversary, we came out with a special book called How to Win Friends and Influence People in the Digital Age. And Dorothy Carnegie, who's Dale Carnegie's daughter, autographed this for me. Many thanks for all your hard work and contributions to this organization. Best wishes, Donna Carnegie. So it's kind of a treasure for me. In May, we came out with a new version. And I kind of call this the Back to the Future version. So when this book was written and first published in 1936, there were some stories in the book that eventually got taken out. And in May, some of the stories that we had put in after Dale Carnegie's death were taken out and replaced with some of the original versions. So this is a copy of the book that we give to people when they sign up for the program. So we give you a digital version of it, we give you an ebook, and we give you a written book, because people have different preferences in how they consume information nowadays, and we want to be sensitive to that. Some people who like to drive like the audio version of the book, they can just listen to it and have somebody read it. I'm kind of old school. I like a book that I can put in my hands. I can dog ear it, mark it up, highlight it, refer to it. And some people are kind of a hybrid of the two. They like the ebook that they can put on their Kindle or their iPad or something like that. So we have a lot of different learning information for the different styles that we're seeing now in our 111th year in the program. So I keep busy doing live online programs as well as face-to-face programs. And Simon talked to me when we did the Strive program a couple months ago up in Pine River, and asked me if we would ever travel to Pine River to do a program. And so I said, well, we would need a minimum of 12 people to conduct such a program, and we could do it on your time schedule, wherever you want to do it, whenever you want to do it, as long as it works out with everybody. And so we made a plan to try and do something, put something together in January. I know we've got some people that are interested, and Simon thought we could bring this opportunity to Rotary to see if there's anybody interested, and if you are interested, when you would want to do it. The program is done in several different formats. The most common is 8 meetings once a week at the same time for 8 weeks. It's called spaced learning. I think that's the best way for adults to absorb the material and practice it. We also do it in what we call an immersion style, which is 3 full day meetings that go from 8 to 5 once a week. That works for people who are traveling from a larger distance. They can come in, get most of their work done, and it's the same material. Instead of 8 3-hour sessions, it's 3 8-hour sessions. Same concept, same material. There's also the live online version, which I'm also doing now. That's 8 sessions, and you can join. It's not Zoom. We do WebEx, but you can join with people all around the country. So there's a lot of different ways that the program is offered. It's up to those in the community who want to see something like this happen. And so, yeah, I've got a few minutes for a question here. I know you've got a hard stop at 8 o'clock, and I've done a lot of talking so far. Maybe there are some questions that you have for me.
Boy, not hearing much.
Well,
So I have,
whenever, go ahead. Yeah.
I'm just interested when you present to the Strive groups, what kind of things do you notice? Is it just the, like you've done here for us, only a little longer version, a 1 hour? I've done one presentation, so I know it's about 45 minutes or so. What kind of questions do you get, or what kind of reactions do you get from the kids?
Well, I don't talk about Dale Carnegie much
Okay.
when I present to Strive. What I do is I talk about the whole idea of getting into the habit of learning and preparing. It's kind of like the message is dig your well before you're thirsty. If you have planned ahead, you're going to be good. So now's the time for Strive students to be thinking about, do I really need college? I tell them a story. When I was 18, I wanted to get out of organized education as fast as I could. And it took me 22 years before I actually went to college. And, I already had a family and, kids, and it was difficult to go back at that time, but it was something that was necessary for me. And I don't know that I would advise that path for everybody. So think long and hard while you have the opportunity to maybe think about what college can offer you when you are coming right out of high school. Could open up a lot of doors for you. So I mean, those are the kind of things that I talk about in the program here. Um, Most of what I do, if I'm being paid by Dale Carnegie, I talk about Dale Carnegie, but out in the community, I can talk about, goal setting or life experiences. So that's one of the things that really attracted me to the Strive program is, the opportunity to just work with young adults.
Thank you.
You bet. You bet.
Rick, you hit upon something very
Yeah.
near and dear to my heart, and
Yes.
that the difference between listening to someone and just
Mm.
hearing someone.
Mm.
And I investigated plane crashes from a psychological point of view, in which we listened to the cockpit voice recorders, and we also listened to what was being said, as well as what was missed and how it was being said. And
Yes.
you can learn an awful lot from that. I
Yeah.
applaud you. That's incredible.
Oh, thanks so much, Pete, and thanks for the work that you do. I mean, it's an interesting topic, and I don't think that we can get we can get to the point where we feel like I am 100% the best listener that I know, because there's so many things that are going on in our mind that it's hard to take in all of the things that other people are saying. One of the examples I give in the Dale Carnegie program is that, when you ask somebody how they are and they say, "Oh, I'm okay," and you don't follow up with a question. I mean, sure, they said the right words, but you can tell by the tone of their voice that they want you to ask a follow-up question, right? And if we miss those opportunities, if we just let that go by, we miss an opportunity to connect with somebody. And that's what we mean by listening, is oftentimes people will give us a lot of hints about, what's really going on. And we've got to be able to recognize those hints and connect. It's not rocket science. It's just being able to pay attention. Thanks for the question. I have time for 2 more questions here before we have to probably stop at the top of the hour. Nobody's curious about what this cost, are they?
Simon's got.
Yes.
It's free. It's free. Yeah, yeah. Simon says it's free, but he's a little bit off. It's free in exchange for money. So yeah, he's kind of close on it.
I don't think I'm curious what it costs. I think I already know, but it's
You already know, right? Yeah, yeah. Our prices since the last time that we talked, Simon, our prices have gone up, but I'm going to be true to my word here. We are at $19.95 for this program if we do something that starts in the first quarter of 2023. If you go on to our website at dalecarnegie.com, it's $22.95 for all of the programs that we do. Included in your program is not only all of the books and the materials, there's also, how many people have ever done a DISC assessment, personality profile assessment? We also are affiliated with DISC, and we offer a DISC analysis and assessment, and then also a half-hour workshop to go back and forth and interpret the results. So that is also value added included. One thing about the Dale Carnegie program is you can take it as many times as you want. After you pay for the first enrollment, you can take it as many times as you want for life. I have people that have taken this program 4 or 5 different times because they go, I just didn't get the movie. There was so much in the movie that went by here. I wanted to see what I missed, and they come back, and we help them. We elevate their ability to coach and see things from a different point of view. So that's a benefit of it. The Evolve subscription that you get. There's over 60 videos in there, and also you have access to 200 more. So there's more than anybody wants to watch. We have a variety of trainers that also are appearing on it. So you're not just watching me, you're watching people from all around the world. So got a couple of minutes left here. Simon, I'll turn it back to you unless somebody has another question.
Well, thank you so much for coming to speak with us this morning.
My pleasure.
A couple things.
Yeah. Sorry about the confusion about getting in earlier here.
Yeah,
but,
me too. I don't
I'm
know.
glad we were able to make it.
Got there. Yep.
All right. Thanks so much, everyone.
Thank you, Rick.
You bet.
Thanks,
We'll
Rick.
see ya. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye.
Well, have a great day, and we'll see you again next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right.
Thanks again, Rick.
Thank you.